Good morning. I'm going to get us started to go live. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm going to give us a second for people to pop on this morning. When you come on, hey, I see you coming on this morning. Good morning. As you all hop on today, if you can share where you're joining from and go ahead and hit that share button and invite some other women and leaders into this space, because I was telling my mailing list this morning, those of you that receive the newsletters and the additional content from Amplify for Women, I told them this is a say ouch if you can't say amen type of conversation, because I plan to keep it 100% real with you today. This is going to be a heart to heart conversation, and I can't wait to dive in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'll give us a couple minutes for people to join in and to get the notification that we are live. But it's great to see you with me this morning, Matera. All right, y'all, let's keep coming in. I'm going to hit this share button myself to invite some other people into the room. Here we go. All right. Well, you all, I have been going on a 2-week series. Today is the last day of the Elevating Your Executive Presence series, and it has been just really wonderful. I've loved giving you all this information and value, and have received several messages, DMs, words of encouragement and support, and more questions. And oh, girl, that was for me. Comments on the content that was shared. If you missed any of those videos, I highly, highly encourage you to go back using any of the videos that you can find live on LinkedIn or on Instagram, but also on our YouTube channel. I have them all in a series for you to just take in day by day the gems that I was dropping. So we're at our final video in this series, and today is one of those topics. Like I said, it is a say ouch if you cannot say amen, because we are going to get to the heart of what is holding a lot of leaders back, and possibly you. We're talking about the 3 signs that your lack of investment in your own leadership is hurting your business. What are these 3 warning signs, and what do you need to begin doing to switch that trajectory for you? So before we hop in, I want to share who I am. I'm Carlisha Bradley. I am the founder and CEO of Amplify for Women. I'm a high performance women's leadership coach, and my work to date has impacted over 9,000 women in 23 countries. Since founding Amplify for Women in 2020, we have been on a mission not just to provide leadership development and public speaking training for women, and primarily women of color, but we've also been working to close the wealth gap. We know that that is a real thing, and the value of us sitting in leadership positions is not just for us to sit in the seat, but to also earn what we're worth to sit in that seat, right? And so to date, we have closed that gap and supported our clients in gaining a collective amount of $850,000 in income from new careers, but also from public speaking revenue. So becoming paid public speakers, utilizing the techniques and tools and frameworks that we share at Amplify for Women. We are going to hit that $1 million mark this year in 2024, mark my words. And hopefully you will be one of the clients who is on that journey to get us to that mark, and also to earn for yourself, sis, because you are worth it. So today we're talking about these 3 warning signs. 3 warning signs. I see other people popping in. It's so great to see you, Alana. Thanks for coming on. Others joining on LinkedIn too. As you come on, share where you are coming in from in the comments. So as we hopped into this series, we've been talking about elevating your executive presence. I started the series, and I start right here every single morning because it's important for me to establish the foundation baseline of what executive presence is and what it isn't. So I've said this time and time again, executive presence is not what you're wearing. I am not a coach who is going to be on here talking to you about respectability politics, which is taking a marginalized group of people and stating that they should dress, speak, or act in a certain way that fits the views, ideals, and values of the majority. I do not believe in that. I do know that executive presence has these four essential C's. Those of you that have been with me on this journey, y'all already know what these are, but I'm going to catch up everyone else. Okay. So the first C is confidence. Confidence is simply stated your belief in yourself, it's how you show up in the room. One of a leader that I really admire, Arlen, she previously said that, you show up in that room and she's like, I walk in the room like I'm supposed to be there. Pull up your seat at the table. This room was made for me. Walking in that confidence and boldness, that is a core C of executive presence. The second C is communication. Now, this is your ability to articulate your value, your beliefs, and your vision. How are you able to communicate your value and also what you believe in to get other people and to influence them on their journey as well? The third C goes back into communication, but it's connection. It's the ability for people to want to follow you. So I talked in some previous videos about telling your signature story, why that matters, and how that builds connection for people to engage and follow you on their journey. And the fourth C is character. This one is critical. It's character. We want to make sure that your values and the what that you believe in translates into the how you live your life. I gave away a free tool and guide. If you are interested in getting that tool, just comment in the chat right now, values, and it will be sent to your inbox. It is a quick document that you can use to identify those core values in your leadership, but not just to identify them. We take it a step further in identifying how you will be walking it out. And how does that show up in your business? How does that show up in your leadership? How does that show up in your life? All right. So we've got the foundation stuff out of the way. Today, we're going to hop into these three warning signs. I encourage you, if you are an executive leader, if you are a founder, if you are growing a team, I encourage you to enter into this conversation, not from a place of defensiveness of like, oh, that's not me, but really to be reflective. Okay. I told you I'm going to get to the heart of it. I'm going to give you the quick and dirty version, straight to the point. But I would almost, this is a video that I was excited to do, and it also cut me a little bit as well because I was thinking back and I told you all earlier that I want to share the mistakes that I made and how I learned from those to accelerate your journey, to get you there quicker, because my lens comes from a lot of lived experience. I have been running organizations, leading teams locally, nationally, internationally, right? And have been doing this work from nonprofit leadership to startup entrepreneurship to being a public member of the Oklahoma State Board of Education, so influencing policy. I have seen how leadership can influence in various arenas, and I want to support you as you walk it out, as you grow in your executive presence and grow in your ability to influence others. So let's go. So, part of the reason why there's this excuse at times for leaders to not invest in your development is because you're saying, I don't have time for that. Carlisha, like, where do I find the time for that? I'm running the business, I'm leading the organization. I am stretched for time just to meet with the people I need to meet with and do the required task of me. And part of that fear of giving up the time to invest in yourself comes from your desire to not relinquish control, to not be in all of the details. A lot of times, as executive leaders and founders, we have superhero syndrome. We think that this business cannot run without me. The members of my team, they cannot get this done if I'm not the person doing it. My eyes have to be on everything at all times. And really, when we live and we operate in our leadership from a place of, to be frank, micromanagement. Okay. When we operate from that space of micromanagement, we are doing a huge disservice, not just to the team that you're leading, but also to the entire organization. When we are operating in a space where we say, I don't have time for my development, I do not have time to search out these resources, to identify coaching opportunities, to have someone to support me on my journey. When I don't have time for that, we're going to see these three warning signs pop up in your life. All right. And so the first warning sign that your lack of investment in your leadership is hurting your business is that you can't articulate a clear vision. You are somewhat all over the place. Your team will be like, okay, well, what's happening next? Well, it's very fuzzy, it's very gray. And part of that, your inability to articulate a clear vision is because you have not made time to get on the balcony. I talked to you guys several times, especially yesterday, about this 700,000 foot view. Some days I call it 70,000, 7,000, 700,000. Clearly, I like the sevens, but you get the point. It's high up there. Okay. We're going high. And I talked to you about this viewpoint. And when was the last time that you took time to really get on the balcony, to get up there and to identify what's happening within my organization? What are the challenges that we're facing, but what are also the solutions? When you don't take time to invest in your leadership, a warning sign is that you can't articulate the vision. You don't know where you're going. You just like, I'm going with the flow. I'm doing what I know. But that is a warning sign that your lack of investment is hurting your business. Because then we go into number two. Hey, I see more people popping on. Thank you all for joining. We are talking about these three warning signs, the three warning signs that your lack of investment in your leadership is hurting your business. And I just went through warning sign one, and it is the fact that you cannot articulate a clear vision. Number two is that you're inconsistent with your decision making. Inconsistency in decision making. People are like, I don't know what to expect. One day you're taking on these clients that you said you weren't because you're not sure how these things are going to line up. The next day you're telling someone on your team, oh nope, we're doing something else. The inconsistency in your decision making is a clear sign that you have not prioritized time to invest in your leadership. And when I talk and when I coach on decision making and core leadership principles, I strongly, firmly encourage all leaders that I support, and myself included, to have values based decision making. People should know why you make the decisions that you do. Your team should understand what is driving that, because your values are not just something that your business has, it is something that you hold as a leader. It is something that people identify you by. And again, if you have not taken advantage of that values template that I provided for free, comment the word values in the chat so that you can get that sent over to your inbox immediately, because it is a first step. If you are inconsistent, lacking clarity in decision making, and you need help being grounded in the why, comment values so you can get that free tool. Now, we went through the fact that the first warning sign is that you can't articulate this vision. Number two is that you're inconsistent in your decision making. So let's get into this third one. And one and two result in number three. And this is when you really need to pump the brakes. If this is what you're seeing, stop, take a beat, reassess, plug in to some leadership development. The third one is that you're seeing staff turnover or just low morale. And mainly it's because you have not had time to develop your team fully and really invest in them, because you're not taking the time to develop yourself. I shared this a couple days ago, and even in like a reel that I have posted on my personal page, that your business growth or failure is all in the extent in which you are able and willing to invest in yourself. As a leader of an organization, I couldn't invest in my team when I wasn't being poured into. I will take this as a brief story time, but I tell you these warning signs from a space of like having been a leader and been there, managing a diverse team that was a part of, a national landscape. And I hopped into the role and I felt like I had to have my hands in everything, figure everything out. And at times, people were wondering, well, why did you say yes to this? Why did you say no to that? I really felt like executive presence was how I dressed or how I acted or being associated with certain people and things until I realized that doesn't mean anything. Executive presence really goes back to those four C's. That team saw a complete transformation in my leadership when I truly got clear in investing in myself. I had an amazing executive coach who I just continue to sing her praises, but it helped me to identify and to merge my personal and professional life to really show up with confidence, the ability to communicate clearly, to have connection with my team because I was more vulnerable and willing to share. And lastly, my character, it shined. You knew why I believed what I believed. I was confident and vocal in that. And I lived it out in practice. And so when I decided to stop trying to do it myself, stop trying to figure this out on my own, I got in connection with a coach. I got into community in a group of like minded professionals. And I saw the shift from where I was all of the warning signs, I was all of the red flags, morale was low, I was confused, decision making was on the fritz. I didn't have the clarity that I needed. But I think that there's a common misconception of executive leaders and especially founders that taking the time that we need for ourselves to step back from the business can really allow for us to accelerate and grow at a pace that we have never seen before from taking our time of rest, clarity, and development. So, here is how I personally support founders and executive leaders on their journey. I do a lot of emphasis on communication, supporting with values based communication, how to have compelling conversations with your team, but also with audiences. So, I support with public speaking through one on one VIP days, but I also have an amazing coaching cohort. It is the Elevate program. It is for Black women leaders and founders who are looking to rise faster in their career and to monetize their expertise, but also to be able to communicate their vision, their goals, and the growth of their business to inspire and influence audiences to follow, to join in, and to grow their income. So, we do all of this while staying true to your values and your character. That is essential in everything that we do at Amplify for Women. It's the Elevate cohort, and we are taking applications for the wait list. So I'd love for you, if you're interested in getting more information, you can DM me the word Elevate. And I'd love to share more. If you're interested and you're like, I'm not a founder or a C-suite leader or a Black woman, but you want to work with me and to support you on your public speaking journey, shoot me a DM as well, and I can send you more information about our VIP days. But I hope that you have enjoyed this series. If you have enjoyed this series, go ahead and drop some hearts on this video, show some love, and share this with other people in your network, especially other leaders who may be experiencing these warning signs. They may need this extra nudge to say, girl, it is time to invest in yourself. It is time to step back, get on the balcony, get that 70,000-foot view of what you're doing so that you can go and grow higher and further. It's been amazing spending these days with you. I will be popping back in next week. I'll be in Cape Town, South Africa with Women Empowering Nations. So I'll be sure on my personal page to take you guys on that journey with me. All right. So I hope that you all had a great time. Feel free to reach out, DM me the word Elevate for information on the Elevate cohort, or DM me if you're interested in some one-on-one VIP day speaking training. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.